Welcome in. It is the ATB show. You can go to atbshow.com. You can find all the accoutrement. That's French for stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. And then above and beyond that, we're a couple soldiers down. So you'll notice the hot corner, which is what we do. We're going to discuss hands-on coaching. It's been a thing. We're going to get there in a second. If you're offended, welcome. And Rubber Shoes already went down the dinosaur tail. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Wilma. He's already out. Yep. So he they got there was a false alarm, or I don't know, like certain units leave the building. Like I have no idea what I'm talking about. No idea. When is Chicago?
Does anybody watch the Flintstones anymore?
Who? I don't think so.
Probably not. I don't even think I don't even know if it's on a streaming
Yeah, so if that
platform
reference
right now.
confuses you, ask your great-grandparents.
Yeah,
we went to school together. So Rubber Shoes is away. He'll probably be back, and you'll have to remind me when he does get back to bring his mic back up. I muted him.
Yeah.
I muted him
He's
here.
sitting there yelling.
Yeah, I muted him here in Studio A because he walked away. And I can hear all the Barneys over there marching around. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Like I appreciate the aesthetic of the American flag and the microphone and stuff, but yeah, we needed to bring that down. We're brought to you by our friends at AAA Work Trucks. Rubber Shoes does the wrap up and rant every morning on the Institutubes. And you can find all of that at atbshow.com. Welcome in. We appreciate you watching, sharing, liking, subscribing, commenting. And if you missed Rubber Shoes, our hearts are broken too. He'll be back as soon as possible. They're pulling a cat out of a tree in Lowell. Film at 11. Hope so. Film at 11. If you don't understand what that means, ask your great-grandparents.
Two old school references right out of the gate.
Yeah.
I love
Did
it.
he just say microfiche? Not yet, but we're almost there. About? Yep, we're almost there. So not a sponsor, but I'm about to open one. I was going to tell you, Scotty, I've got a boom sauce in the fridge. Ooh, but I'm sticking here because I need something light and girly today. So I'm going to do this, but I do have a Lord Hobo.
Seems like a normal occasion.
Great stuff. There's a boom sauce in the fridge. Those are phenomenal. What do you got there, Scotty? You got. By the way, we're running through all of the people that aren't sponsoring us yet. Buffalo Trace. What does the glass say though?
Oh, it's the classic.
Oh, just the past glass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
past glass. This glass is from like 1992.
It looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is where my old man was like, is that going to start?
You get those glasses down in the South at McDonald's when you get a Pappy meal.
This was like, honestly, it probably was something like that, and
I'm sure it was.
This is pre-Bledsoe. This is like Scott Secules, quarterback kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. This was like right before Bledsoe got drafted. It's a classic one, but it's hung in there. It's hung in there.
Yeah. So I think we can. Shall we discuss the Red Sox so we can say we checked the box before he gets back?
I think 2 words is good.
We do have to clear. I'm sure it got discussed last week while a bunch of us were away. You had the shoe and the shoe last week. You're welcome.
Very animated show too, by the way. If you didn't see it, go back and watch it.
He told me they couldn't get out of their own way with the yawning. I did not go back and watch it. And yeah, shame on me. He said they were like, it was like the infectious yawn.
Oh,
like he'd yawn, then Little Shoes would yawn, then he'd yawn again. Yeah, so there's a lot of there's a lot of oxygen deprivation in last week's episode. So if that interests you, you might want to run back and watch that.
I don't know if that's the best way to promote that show. You want to watch?
No, not really.
Yeah,
lots of yawning.
Well, that's what yawning is. It's your body's deprived of oxygen. You're grabbing more. Yeti, also not a sponsor, but this is the most efficient way to get my margarita into my system.
One.
So up yours, ladies. All right, so
yeah, you too.
I do owe, and as I tried to explain to him, and I know he knows this, he was very excited about the fact that the Red Sox won. As a fan, I was excited about the Red Sox winning, but you guys know that we had a bet.
Yes.
If the Red Sox won, I have to take him to Kowloon. I'm like, read between the lines, Rubber Shoes. We get to go to Kowloon. Everybody wins.
Right.
Yeah, it's like
that. What was your bet? I didn't know that you had a bet.
It's like that old Seinfeld skit about the horses. He goes, are they really competing? Right. You come in first, I come in third. We all get an oat bag. Who cares, right? Yeah. I don't really care if. So we had a bet if the Red Sox, no Vegas line, no vig, but if the Red Sox won, I owed him Kowloon, and if the Red Sox lost, he owed me Kowloon. So myself and Janina and Rubber Shoes and Mother Shoes are going to head over to the Temple of Boom at some point
Oh, nice.
And grab dinner. Yeah, so everyone wins. I had no problem with that. What I will tell you, though, I've got, and probably because everything going on, that like Aiden's now 12 minutes away for leaving for school and all that kind of stuff. But I'm sitting there with Francis. What a beautiful day we had. I do believe the final score was 13-3. An absolute rout. And it was, and we had phenomenal seats. Thank me. So like we were up 6 rows off the corner of the dugout.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Field box 20. Yeah. So phenomenal seats. The weather was good. And it was very, very nostalgic. I was just sitting there saying like everything about this is like classic Boston.
And you teared up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, no, not that I would deny that if that were the case. No, just all the feels, but not like wet eye feels, but just all the feels. It was just so good. And like you sit there and you're like, because everything about that park has been improved. God.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Please strike what I'm about to say from the notes of the show, because I'm about to give Henry and his crew credit. But like they've just done a really good job taking that dinosaur of a building and making it reasonable.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, and from where we were sitting, I shot out. I went and got us a couple of Italian sausages.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with no peppers and onions, which I know people frown upon. But that... I enjoy that, but I just wanted to make it clean because Francis, it's just going to be everywhere. The woman next to us is going to have scorched vegetables on her eyebrows. So I'm like, let's just get this over with.
No mustard, no nothing. No, there's nothing.
No, straight Lincoln,
wow.
straight Lincoln.
I don't know if I could do that.
I do love peppers and onions, but I'm just like, just give me 2 clean ones, and then I got him a water because he's diabetic, which I have to remind him constantly. And he's like, I wanted a beer. I'm like, I know, we talked about this. So then I'm walking back thinking I'm going to drop this stuff off and go back. And one of the vendors hadn't started to like serve yet. But he's like, hey, a water. I got accosted by what, like, this is the beauty of Fenway. And I'm like, oh, it's for my son. I was going to come back. He goes, I can help you out. So another great local brewery, because we were just talking about Lord Hobo with the boom sauce, is the other one is Night Shift, which I believe is in Woburn. I might be wrong, though. It's called Night Shift. And they have a new one that is lemony. We'll have to look it up. I'll look it up while you guys are making sense about the sports in a couple of minutes. I'll do some research. And you know, you're not even paying attention, Scotty, as you know, right? I mean, like when we go to those things and Adam, you roll up with the wife and your girls.
Yeah.
You're in there it's $1 million, but everybody's having a good time. Yeah. Molly and Charlotte, you both get beers. Like, yeah, everybody's. Oh, we're back.
He's back.
Hold on. I gotta fix it. I gotta fix his mic. Hang on. Here we go. He's back.
So, you guys calling a motor vehicle accident just to get me out of here?
We would never do that. I hope everybody's okay.
Showed up, there was nobody there.
Oh wow,
super weird. Super weird.
That is weird. Does that happen a lot?
Hey, no, Scotty.
Not that both cars take off.
It worked. Do it again in 10 minutes. Oh, you guys can hear me? Sorry. You guys can hear me? Sorry. I got a couple of those, and we're sitting there. It was awesome. A couple came in and sat next to us. They were lovely. We're talking about our trip to Kowloon, my friend, because the Red Sox won that game. But just a phenomenal day at the ballpark. Nice. And the other pro tip I will say, and I know a lot of people I talk to, which fascinates me because I don't have the patience for the humans. People are like, oh, we go to Fenway, we take the train, we want the whole experience. I would rather shave off scatter my eyebrows over truffled raviolis and then eat them. Yeah, there's not a piece of me that wants to get on public transit to go to Fenway. Not at all.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Really?
I've done it multiple times.
A horrible experience. Anyway, so if you go on Spot Hero.
So what did you pay for park?
Listen, I'm gonna rock your world. If you go on Spot Hero, Scotty probably knows this. Because when you're navigating short people, and Cameron's not a short person, but I don't want to deal with it. Spot Hero, look for 55 Jersey Street. You are literally in the parking lot right behind home plate outside of Fenway.
Oh
yeah.
Ask me how much I paid.
Time.
How much did you pay?
$55.
Wow, that's not bad at all.
I mean, literally pull up, hand the guy the keys, he gives me a ticket, and we walked about 38 feet. We're in Fenway, and then we were 6 rows behind the dugout.
Jeez.
The proximity to the park and the ease of use, and the only thing that I think people would roll their eyes at yet at my advanced age, it's not an issue for me. After the final strike, you have 60 minutes to get out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
but we're rolling. We're rolling. Francis is like, let's go. So,
well, especially if they won 13-3, you didn't have to stick around for the final strike even.
There's that, and I think people. Yeah, I think people that are going to hang out in town and hit all the bars aren't going to get that kind of parking anyway because they're just probably taking public transit. They live closer or whatever. They parked wherever they parked. But there's my pro tip: Spot Hero, go to 55 Jersey Street. It was phenoms.
Oh,
it was
a
amazing. Bluebird
Sounds like
day.
an awesome time.
And now we get to go with Mr. and Mrs. Shoes to Kowloon.
Oh, so did you go to Kowloon after the game too?
We did not. We got home. We got home. Well, it was a Sunday. It was a school night. All the things. So we just decided to get home. He was happy. To get
now
home.
you get your Kowloon.
Well, here's my other thing. Yeah, dude. But here's the thing. I'm only with Camelot. He can't drive.
Right.
He's not driving yet, and I can't get. I'm not going into Kowloon and be like, get me a milk. Like, no. I want like 5 ties. And a pair of handcuffs. That's how you leave that restaurant. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Either with my wife pouring me into the vehicle or with the authorities. Yeah. Go in there and get a glass of water at Kowloon. Holy Lord. Get you deported. That'll get you deported. Anyway, so there's that. We got Scotty in Southern Maine. Rubber Shoes back in Lowell. Calling another accident, Scotty. And then Adam in beautiful downtown Connecticut. We're definitely going to talk about the Red Sox, which we just did. Did that count? Was that enough?
That counted.
Is there anything to add to the conversation? You missed it, Rubber Shoes. I was raving about Fenway. What's that?
Officially eliminated.
Was that last night? Was last night's loss? Last night's loss was it? Yep. Okay, interesting.
No, they won last night. But it was
2 days ago.
Last night they smoked them last night. Yeah. Last night was a big score.
Justin Cassius.
Yep. It's funny. It's so you mentioned that name, and I had asked my buddy Chris and my brother last night. I'm like, how's he doing? Because I give 2 shits at this point.
Yep.
Sorry for the cuss word, Mother Corey, but I just don't care. Like, has he come out raking? I know he started off pretty well. I saw like a couple of things, but I haven't seen him over the last 2 weeks.
He has 5 home runs already in like.
Does he really? Wow, good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is he? How old is he though? Is he 24?
He's pretty.
He was an older, he was an older prospect. I remember they took him for some reason. It just took forever to bring him up. I would look it up.
Well, I think he had some injuries the last couple of years also that kind of slowed him down. Because I think they were hoping to have him earlier, but I think he was injured earlier this year that kept him from playing in AAA first. So it took him a while.
He's only 22.
He is a big boy. 22?
Yeah, he's only 22.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
22. Which I guess when it comes to baseball, that's 26. But yeah. All right. We ready to move on to can we just get to the hands-on coaching? I mean, it's the elephant on the screen.
Honestly, we have to talk about it.
We could. Let's do that. So
the only team that had any chance of anything, and now we're dealing with this shit.
So listen, Nostradamus strikes again. I said we were going to struggle, and you guys are like, they're going to be great.
Don't sleep on Joe.
Don't sleep on Joe.
Well, so the first and foremost, Rubber Shoes and I were talking about this before we got on the air. The suspension and my reasoning, what I think they're doing. They're handcuffing him so he can't work anywhere else. I don't know if any professional sport is actually willing to do this, but I think he's probably persona non grata. I don't think anybody's going to hire him at this point. Yep. So they're handcuffing him so he can't go somewhere else. And above and beyond that, they're giving themselves a wide berth to conduct all their investigations so they can come to a determination that, I think everybody knows he's going to get fired.
Right.
Like, I'd be shocked if he doesn't. That aside, hasn't it come to light, or I feel like I've heard, that they knew about this in June-ish? July-ish. Okay.
Yeah, July, yeah.
And then what's fascinating, and this for anybody who owns a Ring camera or a Ring doorbell, that's how it broke, apparently? Yeah. Oh, I've got one on the front of the garage and the front door. When you're going up to talk to your drug dealer, your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your mistress or your mistress, get away from the Ring because...
Mistress.
Yeah.
Like that. So what happened? He got caught on the ring camera?
The woman involved at the end, right? Because now it's coming to light, and I'm going to be careful with what I say because watch this. We've done nothing, but we're going to get sued. Right. So there's been apparently there was more than just one. Whether the people are saying that he sort of ran through the building a little bit. Some people just offended by his choice of words or how he behaved around them or whatever the case may be. If there was more than one person that he had dated while it was all going on, this will come to pass. But I guess at the very end, it went sideways. And that's why this got to where it got. And apparently, the way it came to the Celtics' knowledge in July is the boy attached to the girl that was the employee for the Celtics, we believe, had the recording or had the footage or watched it live. She went out front, got on her phone, was talking to him, and Ring shoots video and audio, depending on how you have it set up. So he sat there like this and just watched her talk to him.
Oh my God!
And heard all the things. So, again, if you're going to have that conversation that your wife or your husband wouldn't appreciate, walk further into the front yard. What's Dad doing, Mom? He's getting his steps in. So, yeah, that's apparently how it all shook out. It's heartbreaking because they were so good and on the precipice of having a phenomenal year outside of some injuries. Not as bad as the Bruins. How do you feel, and I'm all over the place, you're welcome. How do you feel about the kid from the Red Claws? Do you think? Yeah. Do you feel like he's going to be?
I do. I mean, he's
should have brought Corey on for this.
I don't think I should say this. I don't know. I was going to say he's a Udoka clone. Maybe not exact. Not exact.
I hope not.
He doesn't have a lot of obviously head coaching experience, but I think from a tactician perspective and where the process or the plays and everything that's being called, a lot of it's going to be the same. Not a lot of that's going to change. What his challenge, I think, will be the fact that, when late game situations come up, Udoka was very good about keeping the guys focused and getting the back end involved.
I renamed it for you, Scotty. Hands-on coaching, part deux. Hands-on coaching. I renamed it.
Oh, perfect. I like it.
More hands-on coaching.
I hope not. I hope he's not touching anybody with his Missoula.
No.
All right. There it is.
Is that a 3-point shot, or are you just excited to see me, Coach? Go ahead. Sorry. I'm not sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah. So, I think he's, everything's, the system itself is essentially going to be the same. He still has good veteran people around him, David Stoudemire and a few others on the coaching staff that I think will also help as well. I don't see this as the team plummeting. Is it a massive distraction to kick the season off? Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you had Marcus Smart come out and say some weird stuff, like he supports him as a man and as a person and as a friend and all this stuff and or whatever. And like, it was like brand new to him. And, I don't know. Everyone's very surprised by it. It's going to be a huge distraction, and it's going to be like that for the first 3 to 4 weeks. What the Celtics need to do moving forward is try to focus on the team, focus on what they're able to accomplish, especially in the first month of the season, to try to get this distraction pushed to the side and not discussed, until next spring, basically at this point, or next summer. Hopefully it's next summer when they're playing in the NBA finals and they win it. But yeah, they still have a lot of talent. I still think the coaching staff's going to be fine. I think the rough first month will be there. But outside of that, I think they'll be all right. Don't forget, this is a team that did have a losing record going into January, and obviously they turned it around and and had one of the best second halves of basketball almost in history, and obviously ran to the NBA finals. But that's my 2 cents.
Well, so I don't.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Tim.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think that coaching matters, but not to the extent that it's going to derail their season, right? So I mean, I think. Maybe they get off to a slow start because it's distracting. Maybe they stumble a couple of times late in games, like you said, Scotty. I don't think necessarily it affects the on-court stuff as much as we might think. Because also, all these guys have their own lives, right? I mean, it's not just they're off doing their own thing. And yeah, this is like a thing at work, but that doesn't necessarily affect their training. It doesn't necessarily affect how they play the game. So I personally think as an organization, it's distracting. I'm not necessarily sure that it's distracting for the players. It will, like you said, Scotty, I think it will be for the first couple of weeks because you're going to get, people asking about it nonstop. Like it's every press conference after the game, every time they sit down for a podcast interview or whatever in the middle of their, how do you feel about Udoka going and all this stuff? So it will be a little bit of a distraction. Do I think it's going to derail their season? No, I'm more worried about the injuries derailing their season at this point. And even those, I'm not that worried about. So I was sort of joking that I thought it was going to be the end of a team that could potentially compete for a title. But I do think I wouldn't be surprised if we're sitting here 2 weeks into the season and it feels like, oh no, here we go again from last season. But I do think they'll be able to get it turned around at some point.
Yeah.
How much ownership do you think Jalen and JT take? And they don't own the sin. It's not my point.
Yeah.
But how they lobbied for their boy to get hired, right? Everybody believes that to be true. And he's here, and it went well, and then it didn't go well. So insofar as taking ownership and just taking leadership, how much does this make them lift their lid and be that much better this year? And understand, Joe he's been on the staff, he's been on the sideline, he has been in a head coaching position before, but this could really make them elevate their game and their leadership and their maturity. I think this could be really good. I'd love to see me be right for once, and I think this could be really good for the team to take ownership and really, go back to Ubuntu, right? Like just be a tribe again, and really lock arms and let Joe sort of come along for the ride. Not that he won't have an effect, but to your point, once they're out there, they're not calling play to play. They are calling setups. They are calling defenses. They are making adjustments. But these guys have played together long enough. They could really make an effort to really gel and really have a unified front and take this as the fuel they need to just get it done. Everybody's assuming, and I would love to see them, quite honestly, litigiously wrap up all this bullshittery before opening night.
100%.
There's no reason they can't. Other than that, then you're at every friggin' dais, not talking about beating the Nets, not talking about beating anybody and anybody else. But you're always going to be talking about where is it at? What are we waiting for? What's the next step? Like they don't need that much time to come to a conclusion.
I'll say there is a reason that it doesn't go away before opening night, and that's the Boston media. Right? I mean, the media is not going to let this go. Even if they are able to wrap it up, even if they're able to put some kind of a bow on it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're going to come back. They're going to be, bring up something. They're going to try and find something, some kind of dirt on something. They're going to nitpick. They're going to poke, which is their jobs. It is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's their jobs. Sure. But, I think their play, to your point, Timmy, is and Adam, their play will make this less of a story, right? If they're able to play well, especially early, this will become less of a story than it is, obviously than it is now, right? I mean, Mazzulla, from a coaching perspective, when he did Fairmont State was the only head coaching position he's ever had. He's been an assistant coach ever since. Now, granted, he took Fairmont State to the NCAA tournament, God bless him, but that's, this will be a huge change for him. He's going to have to also get used to the Boston media coming to him, and if, let's say, there's a close game, and they win, is that a play that Ime gave you or whatever? You know what I mean? He's good. These little slides will come in, these little questions and stuff like that. I think as long as the Celtics organization and Mazzulla and the players are prepared to respond to these types of, either inquiries or just, I guess badgering at times. Yeah. As long as they're prepared for that stuff, I think they'll be okay. And obviously wins. Winning, we've heard it 1,000 million times. Winning cures everything, right? They need to win. Yep. I think that's the long and short of it.
Wasn't he on Steven's staff also? Wasn't he the last guy that's still there that's from Steven's staff? So he has Steven upstairs that he can bounce things off. And
for sure.
Did I hear correctly? Did Al Horford play AAU with his grandfather? Like, isn't Al like 19 years old? Right? Al's older than him, right? I swear to God, right? Yes.
He is older than
1,000%.
But not by that much. He's probably like 4 years older than him.
Meadow Lemon.
Well, let's just say
Oh my God.
Missoula was born when I was 8. So, just throwing that out there. I was 8.
All right.
And I'm the youngest one on
And
this
he's
call.
already been arrested more times
So what
than
you're
you,
saying?
Scotty,
He's
I
younger
think.
than me.
Has he
Oh,
been
has he got a
arrested more
record?
times than you, Scotty, or
Does
less?
he get a record?
He does have a record.
I'm not answering that question.
Oh,
Well, I'm not. Oh, you don't have to answer
no,
the
not
question about
Scotty,
yourself.
Joe.
Yeah. No, Joe. Yeah, he's been arrested
Now,
twice.
Horford's 2 years older than Missoula.
Oh, that's not bad. All right, I thought it was way worse than that.
He got arrested for domestic battery when he was in college. I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know
yeah,
what the
it
exact.
was. Yes, but he wasn't. Yeah, but the charges ended up being dropped and all that stuff. Yeah, I
Still
saw
not great.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Still
It's
not
still
great.
not great.
Oh, I'm not
That's what I
saying.
think too.
I'm not defending that
Because he
at
was in the
all.
ballpark, right? I mean,
Yeah.
shoot.
Yes, he was in. He was in the ballpark.
Ugh.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure, and Stevens has come out and said, he has my full support. And we did all this vetting and blah,
I
blah,
just
blah, blah,
updated
blah.
it again.
Yeah, thanks. Hands-on coaching part 2. Yikes. Yeah. I'm just thinking, because Scotty I didn't even think about the Boston media, but you brought up the Boston media, and I'm like, oh, this
They're
guy's going to be under a
find this.
red
Yes.
hot.
They're
light.
scraping him now. Yes.
Yeah. And it's going to be, I'm worried that he's done other things, and who knows, I take Brad at his word that he vetted it well.
David Stoudemire, who I knew. If we go to David Stoudemire, by the way, key point guard, a part of the Jail Blazers back in the late 90s, early 2000s. If we go to him, we're fucked. Okay?
Yeah,
I'm just going to pull the rest of the Buffalo Trace just down my friggin' throat. I'm not going to hold my friggin' glass. I'm just going to drink the rest of it because we're totally screwed. If we go to friggin' David Stoudemire, Jesus
I know.
H.
Oh, my God. I could just see it happening, though. It's like it's just ever since the Celtics, people have been talking about the Celtics having like the best offseason out of any NBA team. It's just been snowball after snowball. It's like, injury.
Well, it's because it was just,
we did. You're right.
Well, and you know what sucks? And I would love to find out why this took so long. Why did Williams wait until right before training camp to get this surgery? You know what I mean? And for a guy that's, admittedly watched The Last Dance on Netflix like 600 times, when Pippen comes out and says, I'm not going to fuck up my summer, because, from a contract dispute, and he got surgery super late.
Yep.
Right.
Is that the same thing that Robert Williams was doing? You know what I mean? Like, what happened there? Why are you getting that so late? Now you're missing 4 to 6 weeks. You know what I mean?
Is it possible that he got some advice from doctors that was, well, you can play on this, and he sort of wanted to try and play on it and maybe trained over the summer and then started to realize I'm still having pain. I need to go in and have surgery. I mean, that's like the positive way to look at it. But I agree with you. I'm like, oh, why are we missing 4 to 6 weeks of the start of the season? Like, that's ridiculous. We need you.
Had months to get prepared. Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, outside of and I'm not trying to minimize it, outside of Udoka and Williams, the Celtics, I agree, Adam, had an amazing offseason. Malcolm Brogdon coming in. Well, actually, it started with Gallinari. Billy's right. It started
Sounds
with Gallinari.
like Ime's had a great couple of years, honestly. Sorry. Another show for another time.
Yeah. But no, the Gallinari injury is problematic too. I mean, it's like, not that there's anything you can do about it, but it's, that was the guy that was going to spell Horford so that Horford was fresh in the playoffs. And now I keep reading and expecting them to sign somebody else that could at least fill that role. It's not going to be on Gallinari's level, but, somebody that can at least come in and give you 10 minutes a night. So Horford's not playing the whole game. They need it. I
mentioned him weeks ago that they signed him.
Sam
on the sly. Vonleh. Noah Vonleh. You guys, he played for the Knicks. He's a big man. He's really good. If he say, like, I'm telling you, he's going to be the sneaky sign of the offseason.
Oh, the Celtics signed him. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Keep an eye out on him.
They signed him before they signed Gallinari. Like before they signed him. Yeah. But Yeah, it sucks about Gallinari because that was a huge fill that they needed.
Right.
Gallinari doesn't stretch
And there's
the floor,
no chance he
like,
comes back,
every,
right?
I'm sorry?
There's no chance he comes back. Everything that I've read says that he's out, even if they make the playoffs.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, he's done for the year. I
That
think the injury itself is like, I want to say it's a 10-month thing. So I think he wouldn't come back.
Okay. It's just this whole thing just sucks because, I mean, on many levels it sucks, but from a basketball standpoint, it's like the Celtics were actually for a team that made the finals, they were remarkably free of the BS, right? You had a lot of BS around the Nets. You had a lot of BS around the Lakers. You had all these teams that were just a mess, and the Celtics were just sort of ho-hum, not a lot of drama, and they played hard. And
Ime's like, I'll take care of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's frustrating. Well,
that's why, I think people liked the Milwaukee Bucks when they won the championship,
right?
Because they were free of the drama, free of the garbage, free of the LeBron. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't that crap that was a part of it. I'm glad you like that, Timmy. But yeah, I mean, it was just I agree, and it really sucks. It does. It really sucks to have them kind of being a part of this now. But it happens, and they have to be prepared for it, and they have to move forward and focus on the season, because they also not only have to deal with the media, but this is the team that went to the NBA Finals. The East is freaking stock loaded still, right?
Oh yeah,
it's very good. They have Jimmy Butler with longer hair. They have to deal with.
Right? Yeah, yeah, man.
What is happening there?
Just
Donovan Mitchell with the Cavs.
Just awful.
Yep, Donovan Mitchell's on the Cavs now. I mean, like with Evan Mobley and. Like that team's, there's a lot of really, really good teams out there. So the East, and they're also going to be loaded for bear, right? They didn't make any friends going to the NBA Finals between like the Bucks and the Heat and the Nets,
right?
So they're going to be, there's going to be a lot of teams. So it's going to be such a fun season in regards to actual basketball. Hopefully the off court stuff doesn't distract from the actual season, because I've been looking forward to this year since Game 6 ended. I've been looking forward to this season.
The Nets are going to be sneaky good, I think, this year. They made some small offseason moves, assuming Kyrie Irving actually plays a full season. If he pulls any of the BS, and sorry,
Joe Harris.
Harris, you said? Yeah, Joe Harris. Yeah, if he comes back and he's good, I think they're going to be sneaky good. And you're right, the East is just a minefield to get through.
They shouldn't be sneaky good. They should be good. They got two of the best players in the league on the team.
Yeah, but the problem with them is that Kyrie Irving, half the time he doesn't play, and he'll find an excuse not to play. I mean, COVID's not a thing anymore. He'll find another excuse.
Well, the chemistry though too. Durant wanted out. Now he's not out, so he's back. Everybody has to be like, "No, this is going to be great. Good to see you too. How was your summer?" Right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I wish them all the worst. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I'm just hopeful that JT and Jalen, I don't know, step it up. That would be if JT, because JT has everything to be a leader. Yet and we talked about this last year. He just doesn't come across, and I don't need him to be hyperbolic and screaming and flailing his arms like puppet appendages, but just a little more emotion on the floor, a little more just veteran, because I know he's 12, but he's still what?
Sorry, no, I'm like, he's 24. He's only 24.
No, I know that, but okay. Well, then, at what age do we ask him to grab the scepter and run the show? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not just.
Yeah, Easy Al is, yes, he's granddad, and I love him, and he should be able to step out of that role. One of them needs to be the emotional leader of this group. And
I think the biggest thing you can ask from Tatum this year, if we get this from him, I think we're in good shape. If he stops complaining about every single call.
Well, you're making my point. Yes. Yep.
That's it. If you just stop complaining. You won a game. We'll give you one a game. You can complain about. Okay, you got slapped across the face. Okay, that should have been a foul. Other than that, it's like just shut up, play, and deal with the fact that refs make bad calls sometimes. It's just the way it is. I mean, let us idiots talking into microphones talk about how bad the refs were. You just play the game. So
I think the biggest positive for Tatum going into the season, he didn't have anything to do this summer. There was no USA basketball.
Right.
There was no, you know what I mean? Like he needed, there was a bunch of stuff he's been doing the last couple of summers and stuff. And you think about, he played more minutes in the playoffs last season than anybody in NBA history. Like, so, you know, like he needed some rest, and I'm hoping that helped him mentally. And I'm also hoping that he's had some time to reflect. And I agree, Adam. I think that is a huge point that he needs to, because what he's going to do is it's all going to fall on deaf ears if he keeps freaking doing it, and the refs aren't going to give him any calls. Jesus, like, come on, man. Yeah, I totally agree. That's a huge issue. Go ahead, Timmy. Sorry, but I didn't mean to cut you off, bud.
Oh no, you're good. If they could grab. I'm looking for the book over here in my office on the shelf, and I can't for the life of me find. I could squint down probably, but I can't see it, and I forget the author's name. It's a Navy SEAL wrote the book, Extreme Ownership. If they just started to take ownership, okay, yep, you didn't get the call. You're not all going to get LeBron's calls. LeBron gets LeBron calls, and that can fall on deaf ears too, because a lot of people get calls. If you're not going to get them, there's a great video where you watch LeBron not get the call and he stands and he sulks and the play continues and he never gets back on defense. Like, that happened a lot. So to your point, if he can clean that up. And I think this was an anomaly, although that's probably not the right word because it happened a lot. The anomaly that Jalen decided to be like, I don't know how to control the ball anymore. Like, and that he picked the playoffs to decide to display that art.
Yeah,
that was fascinating. If they just step up to who they are and then some, would be phenomenal. I just want to see one of them become. And I know the Celtics don't do C's on shirt. Well, there's a C on the shirt, but it's in the name. They don't have a perceived captain. Was there a captain? Do they name a captain?
I thought wasn't Marcus Smart the captain?
Was Marcus the captain last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Smart was the captain last. Smart and Horford were the two captains last year.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah. One of them needs to take it away from Horford and just let him be the old sage. I want to see them all rise up into this. And I mean, God, look at the team that's there. And like, to your point, if Gallinari wasn't broken, that would be amazing. They'd be in such good. And if Robert Williams had decided to get the surgery a little bit earlier. But I think these two can easily say, get on our back, we'll carry you. And to your point, Scotty, if they do that effectively, Ime becomes less of a story. It's not going to go away because of the world we live in. They're going to make it a story forever. And Adam, great point, they're going to dig up shit on Missoula.
Yes. I'm
guaranteed.
Afraid
he will
of
not.
that.
He will not be. He will not.
I'm not that excited about it.
He probably will be the interim coach until somebody shows up in the Inquirer. Yeah. Yeah.
The roster is loaded, though. I mean, you're going to see lineups, too, because you're obviously, with the amount of minutes that Brown and Tatum have had, I think Stevens kind of went out and decided, like, hey, I'm going to find some replacements. And the fact that Smart can guard small forwards, right? He can guard threes. So you're going to have, at times, you're going to have Derek White, Brogdon, and Smart on the floor at the same time. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're both Tatum, and they'll probably have, Hauser, whatever, or even like you might even have Pritchett out there at sometimes with them, but you'll have Grant Williams, you'll have Horford, and then obviously Williams or something like that. But you're going to see a 3 to 4, almost 4 guard lineup a lot of the times with the Celtics this year because of that. But I just it tips off, the official NBA preseason tips off on Friday. I think it's Friday, the 30th, whatever that day is.
It's Friday. Yep.
Celtics play on Sunday. I want to say is their first game for the preseason, and it's preseason is literally 3 games long. So we're playing our first game on the 18th of October, I believe.
Yeah, when did that happen too? By the way, when did the
preseason? I love it. I don't
begin?
know, but I'm freaking. They like took a pic, they like saw the NFL was like, oh, they did it by one game. We're gonna do it by 3 weeks. Like, what the fuck? Like it just totally
I get it in the NFL because you're like, okay, we don't want these guys running into each other for any longer than they have to.
Yeah.
But like that doesn't really happen in the NBA. Like I don't understand. They used to play. I was all excited. They used to play a game in Hartford every year. They used to play a game in Hartford. I was like, I'm going to go to that. It'll be cheap. It'll be easy to get to. And no, 3 games. And aren't they all with Charlotte or something? They're like 2 of them are with the same team. They don't even play 3 different teams. I don't get it.
How much did they cut it by?
By a lot, I think.
Excuse me.
Uh-oh.
Somebody
get him a Cuban.
I made the joke, but no one heard the joke.
Oh.
So I laughed at it myself, but then I choked myself. It was not
That's another show altogether.
Somebody call a doctor.
Yeah. Uncle Duke's got an OnlyFans. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to
After
see
10 o'clock, click this link.
Yo.
Scotty's going to choke himself. Yep.
that. Overweight Maynard wears some Patriots
Autoerotic
clothes.
asphyxiation. Look it up, kids. There'll be a quiz later. Meanwhile, Rubbish is getting a call.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, Billy's like, what?
They're getting called to
Billy's so
Scotty's
quiet
house.
right now. Billy's like, get me the out of here.
You don't want to
Yeah.
go with the Celtics?
So they have Charlotte, Toronto, Charlotte, and then they open
Okay.
with Toronto,
Yeah,
the 14th.
on the 18th.
Well, so there's another thing. They have lifted
Or the 18th
just in
is
time.
opener, then they have 4 preseason games.
Just in time for the Red Sox to not be in the playoffs. Did you see? Did it happen? Is it happening October 1st? They're lifting all of the Canadian COVID rules.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
Right?
All right.
Yep.
So for playoff baseball, unvaccinated can go to Toronto.
It's Toronto.
Kyrie can go to Toronto,
Oh, thank God.
but can he still not play in New York State though?
No,
Like,
no.
what-
He can. At
is
the end
that-
of the season, he was able to play in New York
Oh, okay,
last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tend to forget. My Kyrie calendar's a little shaky. Sorry.
You don't keep track of
Even
him.
rob
It's-
people and get out of
It
jail for
slid
the
right
game
off
the
my
next
flat
day.
world. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. Are we on to the high ankle sprain?
Oh, change the title. Change the title.
Yep.
Day to day. Day to day.
Is that what they're claiming?
Rubber Shoes he looks like
Oh,
he's
you didn't
like,
hear
so
Belichick's
mad about this.
press conference today?
Well, no, I caught the other day, and I want to go into a deeper conversation about the anguish on Mac Jones and my dad's visit to Vietnam. And there's a correlation, which I'll explain later. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Anyway,
Significant
I heard
progress
Mac
there.
Jones say that you'll have to refer to coach about my health.
Yes.
And I'm like,
That was awesome.
shouldn't you be
Yeah,
the leading
20
expert
times.
on your high ankle sprain? Yeah, but go ahead. Sorry, Rubber Shoes. Go ahead.
Belichick, they kept trying to, ask the questions 10,000 different ways, and his answer for every question was day to day. He didn't even acknowledge, oh, that's a good question. Backward. He just said day to day.
He doesn't want to talk
Day
about it.
to day.
Which is
Interesting.
what Mac was basically saying during his press conference. I'm going to
Right.
take it day by day, get my treatment, and
Yep.
see how I
Yep.
feel, and that was it. They're not going to give him anything. He did say that he made significant progress over the last 48 hours or something like that. But Hoyer's definitely playing Sunday. I don't think does anyone disagree with that?
No, he's
Oh,
definitely. Hoyer's definitely playing.
I think Hoyer's getting the start. I
So-
got to be honest. I'd love to see Bailey Zappi get a start. If Hoyer goes sideways. Because what is the expectation? Go in and manage the game, and maybe we pull out a miracle in Green Bay. I appreciate that. And
I don't
why-
know. The Packers looked good last week. I gotta say.
Yeah,
Packers
so I don't know
really good.
why not find out what Bailey has. Like we know what
Yeah, I
Hoyer
agree.
is. Hoyer is a sprained fart away from wearing a visor and holding a clipboard. Like that's his future, right? We're not gonna. Oh my God, that's off from 5 years, $400 million. That's not next for him, right?
Right.
So let's just see what Bailey has. And yes, maybe run the risk of getting him injured, sure, but maybe finding out what he has. I'd be all about that. That's more appointment television on Sunday than Axel Hoyer, which they should start calling him Axel. Like, can we? Have
I don't
that
think that's.
conversation?
I don't think it's super likely that he gets injured, though. I mean,
That's his real name.
knock
That's
on
his
wood,
first name, by the
obviously.
way.
But our offensive line was pretty solid the other day. I thought.
Look it
I
up.
thought we did it.
Scotty's doing his research. Scotty's
missed
going to
it.
Snopes.
Look at that.
His legal first name is Axel. Roll with it. Pun
Wait,
intended.
oh,
Pun intended.
Oh my God! It really Axel Edward Bryan. His two freaking names. He has two names before Brian.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like a Scottish lord.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I would
love him even
1,000% be more. I would be more confident if my quarterback taking the field on Sunday was Axel Hoyer
Really?
as opposed to Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer sounds like a student driver instructor with bad pants, black sneakers, and an ill-fitting polo shirt that makes him look like Dora the Explorer. I just came up with that on the fly. That's more talent
good.
than
That was good.
the
That's a lot of talent
non-Axel
right
Hoyer
there.
is going to bring to the field. Give me Axel or give me Bailey.
So you prefer, you don't want Brian Hoyer, but you'll take Axel Hoyer all day?
If I were him, I would legally change his name and put Axel over the shoulders. Send that man onto the field.
And he should, because Brian Hoyer has actually lost 11 straight starts, which is an NFL. It's the longest in NFL
Make
in
it
the NFL
12.
right now.
Make it 12.
Which
Rubbish.
just maybe change that up. And also, I think that the other thing I read about Green Bay's won 13 straight home games or something like that, which is also the longest streak.
It's not going to be great. It's not.
Wait, didn't they lose in the playoffs
It'll be
last year at
fun.
home? Weren't they at home? Weren't they at home in the playoffs last year? Green Bay, or were they on the road?
I'd have to look it up.
I think they were, because they lost in the first round. I think they were at home.
And I just laughed because it was like, that's ridiculous.
So
I had the Pats
got-
losing this
He's
week
lost
with
the most
McCorkle anyway.
What's
But
that?
here's okay. So you've got all right. So let's just play this out though. You last week you had the Colts beating the Chiefs.
I love my 8-9. By the way, I'm rolling to Vegas.
Oh,
this
8 and
year,
9
baby.
looks great on you.
I love
8
it.
and 9 looks excellent
love
on
it.
you right now.
Yep.
I actually think, okay, so it's probably not a popular opinion, but I actually think Mac Jones, despite the missteps, I totally understand that he has made some really untimely, stupid plays. But despite that, I actually think it's been kind of entertaining to watch. I mean, last week was entertaining to watch. They were in that game all the way to the end. It was an enjoyable game to watch. I hated that they lost. I don't want to see them lose. But I'll watch Mac Jones all year. I mean, hopefully his high ankle sprain is one game, and then we're back on moving along. Even if they lose games, at least they're losing it and they're in it. You know what I mean? And I fully expected them to suck this year. I mean, I know I picked them, I think 12-5 or something ridiculous, but I still think it's super fun to watch them if they're in the games. It's always the worst. Like, I don't know if you guys watched the Dallas Giants game, but it was like 6-6 at halftime. I mean, worst game of all time. I mean, I know it was like 23 something at the end.
Green Bay Tampa Bay game wasn't that?
That was a horrible game too. I mean, it's been bad football all around, and our game against the Ravens was actually watchable. I mean, it was actually enjoyable.
All the NFL said, screw preseason. We're going to use September as preseason because there has been a lot of ugly games out there.
Bad. Yep.
To start the season.
Yep.
It's been awful. Yeah.
So can I explain my weird Vietnam analogy?
Yeah.
Which will be even weirder. I'll be probably even more concerned. And let's preface all my statements with I'm a princess, right? I don't have a great pain tolerance. I'm not saying that I do. Because I've seen the pictures so many times. As Mac was coming off, and you could hear, depending on what your TV was doing, what your sound was doing, you could definitely hear verbal anguish coming out of his face. Mm-hmm. I thought for sure it had to be a break. The way he was getting walked, the way he hopped off the field, I'll give him credit, but then he seemed to cramp up on the right side, hopping on the right leg, God bless him, gets himself off the field. He is assisted into the building, and his face, the look on his face, the only thing I could compare it to at the moment, and I'm sticking with it, when my dad was in Nam, and I don't know if it was I don't believe it was the third. My dad got 3 Purple Hearts. It was either the first or second time he got shot. And quick reference so we understand what I'm talking about. If you ever saw Forrest Gump, there's the scene where he salutes him and he salutes Lieutenant Dan. And he's like, don't salute me, you jackass. They'll know I'm an officer. They'll shoot me. So if you watch any old Vietnam movie, when they're out in the jungle, there's the jackass with the radio and the antenna waving back and forth. Mm-hmm, then there's the jackass on the radio calling in the coordinates. My dad in the Army with the big red one was a forward observer. They would track down the camp, and they would call the coordinates back to the guns.
Yeah.
And when they saw the guy on the phone, they're like, officer, shoot him. So my dad got lit up 3 different times.
Jesus.
Newsweek, at one point, I think Rubber Shoes may have seen this in the past.
Yes,
Newsweek,
I have.
Yep, he's seen it. Newsweek at one point was embedded with my dad's crew. And we have a Newsweek. We have 5 or 6 copies of Newsweek. I have one somewhere at home. And there's a shot of my dad after he was shot. That was worded poorly. You're welcome. There's a picture of my dad after he was shot. He's being wrapped up on the ground in the middle of Vietnam. And the only time I've seen a face in that much anguish is when my dad is getting wrapped up after being shot in warfare in Vietnam. So I'm like, and again, I didn't get a high ankle sprain. I don't know to the extent of the pain that he felt. I've heard people say that a high ankle sprain is
It's the worst.
horrible. Thank you, Scotty. So put me in my place. I appreciate that. If he's on the field Sunday, I'm very concerned about his next hangnail, if he gets a toothache. Do we have Jimmy Garoppolo part 2? I don't have any more room to add to this title. Like, is he Glass Joe?
I mean,
Like that's disconcerting.
So,
if he's on the field after that much anguish for a high ankle sprain, which Scotty can attest is horrifying. I just like, I'm like, that's got to be broken. Is part of his leg up his ass? Like, what is going on? And now he's day to day, might be back Sunday. I don't think he will be. But if there were going to be surgery, the swelling is down by now.
right.
If there was going to be, because sometimes with a high ankle sprain, my understanding, I play a doctor on the radio, is sometimes there is surgery for some reason.
That's part of the part of what's going on between the two camps, between Mac's camp and the Patriots
Pats
camp.
Okay.
Patriots.
So,
this, coming out that you hear on the radio that they talk. Sources say Patriots want him to get surgery, and that Mac does not want to get surgery.
And no disrespect to injuries, athletes, Vietnam vets, none of it. I saw the look on his face. I'm like, I've seen that look before. And that's the only thing I could equate it to. So now that it's like, it's not broken. All 19 ACLs in that knee aren't snapped and wrapped around his head. Like explain to me why I don't know. I'm concerned that he's going to be, everybody picks on Garoppolo. I think he might be part 2. Sorry.
No,
go ahead.
No, because I don't think so. I think everyone shows pain differently. I think that was just his, point. I think and honestly, it was a snapshot in the moment. I mean, everyone talks about it. I mean, he's taken some hits over the first
Super
season,
has.
Yeah.
3 games that he's played in his career, and the kid's tough. You know what I mean? I just think, honestly, he's got a baby face. So if he makes a face that looks like he's like in pain, it's going to look so much worse because it looks like a crybaby. You know what I mean? Like he just looks,
I suppose.
He looks like kind of like a crybaby. You know what I mean? And I think that's just, I honestly, I've been there with both my ankles before, and not at the same time, but it's
white chocolate.
Really
see him on the court. Amazing.
Oh, it's so freaking bad. It's so bad. It's so freaking painful. And, I didn't play ball for at least like 6 weeks. Obviously, I'm not a professional athlete. So, the one thing I'd say is I don't necessarily see him as a potential Jimmy G. I don't know. Maybe he is. But, Jimmy's kind of toughened up over the years too. You know what I mean? Like he's gotten a little bit better with San Francisco. But, I don't know. Are you one of the guys that are like in Mike Girardi's camp where Girardi's saying like, oh, he's going to lose his job? Because he's turned the ball.
No. And I'm going to not at all. And I'll skate back to Adam. I love how goofy he is. Like whatever. I'm like that
horrible touchdown dance.
Oh, that wasn't the gritty. That wasn't the gritty. That was a kid that just graduated from Alabama. That was the McGriddle. That was that was a sausage breakfast sandwich from McDonald's.
I loved that.
It was terrible, and I loved it. I love his. I love his lack of swag and his absolute disdain for. I don't care. I'm gonna do a really bad dance. Yep. I am the goofy quarterback. Like no, I want him to be healthy. I want him back. I just drew that correlation, and then the fact that it's not broken, I'm just like, oh God. But to your point, he has taken he's taken a lot of shots.
Yeah, he has.
He's taken a lot of shots, and maybe. I mean, what is the medical definition of a high ankle sprain? Is the bone bent to the extent that it just hasn't snapped yet? Is that what it is, or is it more? It's not skeletal. It's as Howard Stern would say, muscular, right? Like it's yeah. It's not the wing, it's the chicken, right? Like so.
Yeah. It's a lot of ligament damage and stuff like that too. That that can happen as well. Not necessarily tears, just like shit gets pulled and stretched in a way that what I mean, that you don't want it to go. And that's essentially when you got like Calais Campbell freaking falling on your ankle, it's gonna
not
hurt.
great.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like a professional soccer player. I see that face at least 60 times during a game. And they just pop up, so maybe he will be able to play this week.
Oh.
I have a question. Sorry. You watch.
You don't have to raise your hand.
How do you
Scotty.
have time for soccer with wrestling,
You watch professional soccer.
pickleball, NASCAR,
Mainly
the Big
6 o'clock in the
E?
morning.
Also,
How
how
are you
many
not an
jerseys
habitual
do you
gambler,
have?
sir?
How
How is
many
that not a
soccer
thing?
jerseys do you have?
0. I almost bought one, but I 0.
I knew you almost did. Wait, did you go to the Big E yet?
So you missed that?
What?
I missed it.
You don't check social media?
No, I don't. I'm horrible. I should check it more often. What happened? Did you get the milkshake with the donut on top?
No, I can't have milkshakes.
Oh.
Wait a minute. I'm going to throat kick you through the internet if you pull some bullshittery keto stuff out of your ass right now. I can't.
No, I can't drink milk.
Yeah, okay. So you're talking
I'm
about
not
lactose intolerant.
yeah. Thank you. I thought you were going to suddenly
ice cream
pull the
and milk.
keto card.
Yeah,
You were
no.
having
I
deep
can
fried
drink
the other weekend.
skim milk.
Yeah.
It's something with the milk fat. I can drink skim milk, it's fine, but I can't drink regular milk or have ice cream.
Okay.
I can
Okay.
have
So what
frozen
did
yogurt,
you
so
eat
I'm
at the Big E? I heard the food was supposed to be spectacular this year.
The
potato.
only thing we did
Kicked
different
off with the
this year,
potato.
we had deep fried cookie dough, and it was also Tyler had Oreo cookie dough on a stick. That was very good.
It's
both of those were very
it's
good,
honest
but
work. It really is.
Always the best thing is the thing I get when I leave is the deep fried whoopie pie.
Indigestion?
There still
What?
hasn't been anything better than that.
What did you get?
Corner.
Deep fried whoopie pie.
So Adam is like cat gagging in the top corner. I got to tell you, like the fact that the geniuses that work at these events, right?
Yes.
We're going to freeze some cookie dough. Then we're going to deep fry it. Then we're going to hand it to a guy on a stick. And I'm just guessing because I've never been to these events. It's not that they're beneath me. I just haven't shoehorned them into my life yet. The Big E, when you go and get the deep fried whoopie pie, I'm guessing, are those 7 a pop, 10 a pop? How much are those?
Oh, 8 or 10, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Even
It is a cottage cheese industry, is it not? I mean, you're pennies on the dollar that they are spending, and I'm sure these. If you go in, if Scotty and Adam and I go in, and we do like deep fried jackass next year, like just having a space at the Big E must be monumental money.
Yeah, I'm
monumental
sure.
just to be in that building or in that
Yeah.
geo-fenced in that area, right? Do you have any idea? Have you done the research?
No.
We need a full 60 minutes next year. We're sending you with a camera crew. Yeah. I want all the deets.
Saturday or Sunday, they had, just in one day, they had 200,000 people go through the gate.
And what does it cost you to get in, dude?
$15.
Oh, that's not bad. 15
$15 to get in, and then
then
every
you pay
food
for
item
everything
is
else,
somewhere
right?
between $8 and $10. Yes.
Yeah.
I will say though,
We
Billy, your Instagram
share
pictures,
share
and
most
stuff,
of the stuff.
Go ahead.
your Instagram stuff though made me want to go next year.
Oh,
Like I
1,000%.
saw some of those things, and I'm just fascinated by like the food, and I'm like, I might need to see this in person. I think this is
I'm gonna have to look
something
it
that
up.
I'm gonna have to do.
It's unbelievable. Deep fried cookie dough, deep fried Oreos, deep fried Snickers, Milky Way, like
so
everything.
I love the deep fried stuff, but a guy I work with, he went this past weekend and he tries everything, and he got
There's more?
a sundae with a piece of cheesecake on top.
Yes.
And
Oh,
then
that's
there
what I
was-
saw.
there was
That's what I
something
saw,
else on top of that. I was like, if I could eat ice cream, I definitely would have tried that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
So what do you drop on food when you go? So it's the 3 of you? All 3 of you go?
Yeah, so I think we had probably 6 different things. We were under $100 probably.
For all 3 of you.
The food,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
because we share a lot of the times. We just
You're
buy
taking
one
a
thing
bite.
and we
Yes.
all
Yeah.
share it. Yeah,
Oh my god.
so it
God
wasn't
bless
like 3 things of poutine. We got 1 thing of poutine and we all shared.
But they have to see Tyler coming. He's 7'2".
Oh, 100%.
Like they just drop the windows. We're closed, right? And his giant hand is reaching in and grabbing fried dough people, and that's what you need to do next year. You need to have mother shoes and her little dainty paw hold like the deep fried cookie dough.
Yes.
And then it's gonna
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I want. Nope, this is what I want. I want Mother Shoes holding the food, and I want Little Shoes holding Mother Shoes. Because Mother Shoes is tall and thin enough. She's gonna look like a cocktail toothpick in his hand.
So this is the second year I had it. I got a deep fried buffalo chicken taco.
Yes,
Amazing.
Of course.
That sounds
Why
amazing.
not?
that sounds amazeballs.
That's like the first thing you said that sounds like really, really good. I go, man.
Oh my God. I want
All of
that.
it, all of it. And they had 200,000 people go through in one day.
One day, yeah.
Wow.
Somebody have their abacus out times $15.
They have 2 convention halls that are all, a lot of
Over
them
a
are
million.
like infomercial people. They got the ShamWow. Every year there's a guy there doing
I
the
love all this.
ShamWow. He's got the microphone on and doing the whole thing, and they have it's the same people there every year. So they must make money because they come back every year, and it's the same.
3 million just through the door. $3 million.
Yeah,
Unreal.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
I'm thinking they might not charge the vendors that much if they're making that much at the gate.
Right.
That's unbelievable.
So, who was the musical act? Were there musical acts this year?
Oh, I was
Brooke
so
Hogan.
mad that I worked at the fire station last Saturday, and DJ Jazzy Jeff was there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know how you missed that.
Oh, I was so
deep
tempted to
fried
take the night off. and go
DJ
down
Jazzy
there.
Jeff.
Oh my god! And
With his new hit, some other time. Sorry.
Sublime Rome was there. So there's different stages. So DJ Jazzy Jeff was playing at the free stage, but then there's another one that you have to pay for. Yeah,
Free stage?
There was Sublime with Rome was there. Leonard Skinner's playing. There's probably
Leonard
30
Skinner
different
played at the Big E.
Yep, Sunday night. So it's still,
Who's
you can
Sublime
still
playing? Their lead singer's been dead for years.
well, his brother sings.
Oh,
Another Van Zandt.
God, this is
Which
amazing.
I found out today, he was the lead singer in 38 Special.
wait, who was?
The brother for
The
Sublime?
brother of the Van Zandt that's singing for Leonard Skinner now.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you were talking about
was the
Sublime.
lead singer for 38 Special. That's what I was told. I cannot verify that, but that's what I was told.
Ricky Duquette, big fan of 38 Special. He was always a big fan.
big fan.
38 Special.
Oh yeah, big fan.
Hold on, Lucy.
Wow. How do we not? I think we should pay to have a booth at the Big E next year and just broadcast live from the Big E
that
for
would
the
be
whole
amazing, yeah.
2 weeks.
Oh,
That'd be
I wonder
amazing.
if I
Deep
could-
fried sports.
So,
Deep
one
fried
of the
sports?
one of the dealerships that we do work with
Deep fried
sets
balls
up
over here.
there, a Chevy dealership, a local Chevy dealership there. I wonder if I could just say, hey, do you mind if I sit at your booth?
That would be
Broadcast
and
live
set
from
up
the Big
live.
E.
honest to God.
Oh my
Honest
God! Can you
to God.
imagine a 24-hour live stream from the Big E? Rubber Shoes just walking in with deep fried.
Have
everything?
Tyler walking around doing interviews with people and eating food on camera.
Yes.
Holy.
Well, I
smokes.
know what the Rubber Shoes rant and wrap up is going to be next
You
year.
might
Yeah.
get like 3 hits that day.
3 hits. Yep. You never know. You never know.
As long as you tag the Big E in
Yes.
all your
For the
posts.
Sunday
Yeah.
game or no?
All right, so predictions for Sunday's game.
Oh,
Oh,
let's
we're
do
off
that.
Big E. All
Let's
right.
do that.
Okay.
We're off deep fried. Deep fried predictions.
Deep fried predictions.
Oh, you guys, I'm hungry now. I'm like,
Yeah, no
Yes.
kidding. I can't
Yeah.
wait for dinner now.
into the
I'm not
predictions.
having deep fried buffalo tacos though. I'll tell you that much.
I'm still in Portsmouth. I'm going to find a place that will make that happen.
you need to find one.
I might not go home.
Google
I
it.
might take
I'm
a
sure
right and go down to
deep
Vita
fried
Cantina.
tacos near you.
Yeah, Vita
Go across
Cantina.
the
Scotty
street
knows
to
what
the,
I'm
go
talking
across
about.
the street to Tor. They got something like that. Tor's got something like that for you too.
Have you been, by the way?
Tor, yeah,
And
awesome.
really,
Love it in there. Yeah. I'm a huge
I
fan.
haven't heard anybody give me the A word on that. So that's my first awesome about tour.
Oh.
I like it. I've only been 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
And
so-
I also have been spoiled, so I got like the back room, which is
Oh.
like this is like room in the way
Oh,
back.
yeah, I
that's, like,
understand.
super,
Yep,
super
I-
nice
yep.
and yeah, it's so I've been there. I haven't actually used the other simulators. They look really crowded. The other simulators look a little crowded. But.
You're making my point. Amen. So to bring Scotty, to bring Adam and Rubber Shoes up to speed, across the street from my office here in Portsmouth, there's a location that used to be a Tuscan Kitchen.
Okay.
They've now moved that location to downtown Portsmouth. Wife and I were actually there last night for our belated anniversary dinner. It's now Toscana, which is a phenomenal restaurant. It's the same family, same owner, the guy that graduated from UNH. It's a good crew. It's a good brand. They're in Burlington as well. Tuscan Kitchen / Toscana, lights out. We were there last night in Portsmouth. So the old location over here got purchased by a group, and they put in a brand called Tor. So it is a restaurant and bar, and there are exposed sims behind the bar, which don't fancy me at all. When I'm playing golf indoors or outdoors, there's a lot of fervent prayer. I don't want people watching me do that, as you can imagine. To Scotty's point, there was also a back room. So when they first launched, I was excited because I figured they're going to have memberships. They do. You can go par, birdie, or eagle, and they are monthly, and they are inordinately expensive. The Eagle membership, in order to be able to book the back room, is $500 a month. It's something ridiculous. Anyway, that being said, and the food, although I hear it's okay, is also not competitive with the rest of Portsmouth per se. And I guess
no.
Yeah,
when it comes to the food itself, if you're comparing it to the rest of Portsmouth, no, it's not. It's not like that at all.
Well, and then my other thing, and that they're doing okay and they're open, and I wish them all the best. To me, when the weather's nice, they're about to go into their season where they're going to thrive. But when the weather's nice, I'm going over to Pease and hit a bucket, and then I'm going into Grill 28. Phenomenal over there, right, Scotty? Love Grill 28. Or I'm going to go up to the Oaks where I'm a member. I'm going to hit a bucket there, and I'm going to go into their restaurant, which is also good. I'm not going to go indoors during the summer months to play sim golf. Right. But they survived their first summer. I'll give them credit. My problem is, we approached them and we wanted to do a company event over there, and they couldn't get out of their own way and make it happen for us, which is fascinating.
Really,
you've met me. I've got a pretty big mouth.
Yeah.
And I've got 750 agents that if I'm barking about it every day would probably... So, again, I haven't heard anything wildly negative, but the proximity to our office and a lot of people over here that eat, drink, and golf, those are the three things. Yep. They could put a zip line in. They're literally... like, Scotty, work with me on this. Like, if you're at our office, think about this, Adam. Kim Lai is... a little left, and Tor is a little more left. It's right there.
Okay. All right.
We would be over. Yeah, build the catwalk, build the zip line. We'll be over there. And they just weren't. They. I don't know. I'm glad Scotty likes it, and I still haven't been, so I don't really have a judgment. But I have a lot of people that have been, and a lot of meh.
Well, they're still not sponsors, so
it's fine.
We can be on both sides of the fence. So.
Oh yeah, no, but I want to see everybody do well. I want to see everybody do well. It has an opportunity to do great things, but there
is a bowling alley there too, yes, Billy. Yep.
What's that?
It's on the far side of the
on the right side. Yeah, if you're staring at Tor, it's on the right.
Yeah. Tor's to the far. It's the old movie theater, Adam. If you remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
the old movie theater. Then
right.
it became Tuscan Kitchen, and now it's Tor. So
okay.
Yeah, look them up. I mean, but to Scotty's point, if you don't have the back room, which is pretty cost prohibitive to book. If you don't have that, all the other sims are right out in the open, right behind the bar.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah, I want to be in a closed door experience where I can talk to my friends and swear and all that stuff.
Have you seen the mansion that the guy who owns the Tuscan built at Hampton Beach?
I have not, but I love that he's able to do that because I'll give him this much credit. When the holidays hit, he does a ton of stuff at Thanksgiving and the holidays for the homeless and the less fortunate. And he's a local kid, and God bless him. And that's completely that's divorced from the Tour, just so everybody knows. Yeah. They're not the same ownership. Toscana, Scotty, have you been to Toscana down Portsmouth?
Oh yeah. Oh. Amy actually went to UNH with the dude.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Toscana in downtown Portsmouth. Go to if you look up Tuscan Kitchen at Toscana, same brand. go to find a Toscana near you. And
all right.
yes. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Probably not one near Connecticut.
I got the black and blue ribeye last night. I got the Cobblestone City cocktail. We got the Zeppelis. We got the creme brulee cheesecake.
Jeez.
We got the black truffle gnocchi.
Spare no expense. What anniversary is it?
This was our 26th. It got delayed by a few weeks, but we went up for our 26th. You boys will love this. The tab came, and when I added the tip to the tab, because I'm a fanatic with even numbers, it came out to $222.22.
Oh, wow.
And I looked at the wife. I said, "We can go now." Yep. There was no mic, so I just dropped the pen. I just dropped the pen. Yeah. It was amazeballs. It's so good. Toscana is lights out.
And you didn't do that on purpose. That just accidentally
Now, when I
happened.
go back, I'm going to ask them if they can deep fry my black and blue ribeye.
That'll put
Look
the
at
price up
Rubber Shoes. Like, yes, deep fry that mother
do
trucker.
that.
Deep fry that mother trucker. Yeah.
I have yet to have anything deep fried that I didn't like.
We're going to come back next week. His microphone's going to be breaded.
Get him a lobster roll, deep fried. Let's go.
Yep.
Lobster roll.
Oh, I might like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah, we got the
There was a
calamari,
couple
too. That
of
was
them.
phenomenal as well. Yeah, anyway.
Jeez.
All right. We're off on a tangent. No one should be shocked by that. We got to do our predictions. Got to do our predictions.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Round the horn.
34-13. Packers win.
Holy shit.
Wow, that's worse than my pick.
That's a departure for me. But that's what
Scotty
I'm feeling.
goes full holy shit on that. Yeah.
I have 28-10 Packers.
Wow. Timmy,
Will
wanna
we
go?
have
You want me to
somebody pick the Patriots? Go ahead, Scotty.
go? All right. I'll go. All right. 24-20 Patriots.
Oh, I love all
right.
of that.
Okay. All right.
I love all of that.
Still sticking with my pick. I said they were going to be 2-2 after 4 weeks. So even
All
though
right, you gotta
Warriors
stay
the
with it.
Destroyer is going in, I'm sticking with it.
Stay with it.
We are 27-17 bad guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you're right, Scotty. I hope the three of us are Nostradamus and you're
27-17 Con Air. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. The hair's so bad. The hair's so bad.
God, it's
Oh,
awful.
so bad.
Yeah,
we have friends who are the husband is a Packers fan and the wife is a Patriots fan, so they're flying out to the game. So it should be interesting.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
We were gonna try to go. My wife is also a Packers fan, and
Oh, no kidding.
I have a Aaron Rodgers jersey. So
Oh my God.
No kidding. Amazing.
My wife is
this before.
my wife is a Packers running back fan. I'll let you guys do the math. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's an AJ Dillon fan.
Scotty's out.
He's
Scotty's out.
leaving. Dude, why do you have an Aaron Rodgers shirt?
Honestly.
Because I've
Because obviously, why wouldn't you?
well, I got it before he became weird. So now it's like
They made the shirt before he was born? Tell me less.
no, he's gotten a lot different over the last few years.
Different. He's not
That
listening.
was
He's
the
not
dinner bell
listening. You
just
can be
went off.
honest.
What is happening in
So I
America
was
right
a
now?
fan of Green Bay when Favre was there, and then when Rodgers took over, he was good. So I jumped on.
Is there
I got I
an
have a Favre
NFL
jersey
team you
also.
don't have a jersey from? Like every week we find out you used to root for a particular team. It's like I used to be a Dolphins fan. I used to be a Packers fan. I used to like what is going
I'm
on?
not really a fan of the team. I'm more of a fan of the players.
So stay
I was
with me
never
on
a
this.
Broncos fan, but I was a fan of John Elway.
And in his defense, God help me with what I say next. In his defense, it's not about being a fan. Correct me when I'm wrong, which will probably be in mere seconds, rubbishes. It's not about being a fan. It's about the aesthetic. If you go back and look at him at Big E, he's in Raiders gear. Am I
that was
wrong?
My Bo Jackson jersey. Yep.
Yeah, he's murdered out like your mother's car. Like he's all blacked out like Shirley's new vehicle. Yeah.
Well, in his defense, he's going to Western Mass.
So
he really, that's how
my
you dress
guess
when you
is
go to Western Mass.
because all I saw was his torso, was a Raiders hat, a Bo Jackson jersey, Black denim
No,
and black dunks. Like, what did you have on?
Gray shorts that matched the gray in the jersey, the numbers, the 34 gray.
I
shorts
believe
matched
you.
that.
I believe you.
I had my black and gray Giannis sneakers on.
Okay.
You have Giannis sneakers? I'm a fucking
There it is.
That's it.
Well,
He left. He's done.
He definitely.
the Tatum shoes are always ugly, and they're also like $180 every time.
Oh my God!
That's why I haven't bought a pair of Tatum yet.
Rubber shoes. You broke Scotty. I think he might have quit. I don't know. I
just updated him. I just updated him.
What? Oh my God.
All right.
I don't know if that's because we've gone too long for Scotty or if he really wasn't
like
horrified by it.
He's out of Buffalo Trace. He's heading upstairs. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We appreciate you tolerating the show this week. We
Yes,
thank you for checking us out. You can go to atbshow.com. We are delivered to you, whether you like it or not, by our friends at AAA Work Trucks. atbshow.com. All the links are there. Rubber Shoes back at it, offending you on purpose first thing in the morning on Instagram. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell your friends. Whether you like it or not, we'll be back next week. Have a great week. We'll see you in and around the internet. I'll see you, boys.